And I doubt the board will be nice to me because I left her alone for way too long. Make it make sense. Something Femke and I are starting up again is challenging each other books. I currently have around 150 unread books. Hello lovely bookworms, I'm Esmay from Paradise Pages on Instagram and also on Twitter, and welcome to a new round of Game of the Books. Today it is going to be February's round and I haven't played Game of the Books in quite a while, so I thought new year, new rules. I have personally gone through my shelves and calculated the amounts of books I have that are unread. I used to be around 20 to 30 books, but I've acquired quite a few new ones. I've also gotten rid of quite a few that I had read, and on top of that I've read quite a few that I did not own physically. So I read them through Scribd, audio, or any type of other formatting, and I currently have around 150 unread books. So I decided 2023 will for me be the year where I read my physical TBR. Not entirely, I don't think I can pull that off, but I want to read my physical TBR. So I have decided to change the colors up a bit. So let me take the board. The board has not changed, the cards are still the same, but the categories are a little bit different. So let's start with the start. Woo! Let's start by start. So green and orange used to be colors that said something about both either the content or the cover of a book, so the physical formatting or the formatting of the book. For me, these categories will now be categories where I have to pick for my physical TBR. So these two have to be physical TBR books. And blue is going to be where I can choose whether I want it to be a physical book or whether I want it to be a digital one or something along those lines. What I am counting is if I have the physical book and I read it through an audiobook, that counts for me. As long as I can tick off that physical book, whichever way I read it, that will be a physical read. Then yellow is still going to be your favorites, your recommendations. Did you guys hear that sound too? Anyway, yellow is going to be your recommendations, your favorites, books that I've gotten through you from some place or another. With some of these I might not be able to remember them, but I know that there are certain books that I've gotten because of you guys and not because, well, I wanted to read them at some point. But in any case, that's going to be yellow. And then purple is unchanged. Purple is a wild card. And I doubt the board will be nice to me because I left her alone for way too long. This board has been sitting in my shelf and sitting in my drawer for a little too long, so I feel like this board is not going to be nice on me. But those are the rules. I think I actually explained all of it. Let me start by saying welcome back, because it's been a while that I filmed and sat down as well, but welcome back. It is a new year and we're nearly in February already. I actually turned 26 on the 11th of January, so new year, new me, new year, new age, every single year. And other than that, let's just dive into this first Game of the Books of the year. Hello and welcome to a new round of Game of the Books. I have already explained in the intro that we're doing it a little bit differently. So basically green and orange are now going to be the only colors that colors that have to reflect my physical TBR. Blue is where I can divert from my physical TBR and actually pick a digital book if I want to. I'm really focusing this year on picking physical books. And then yellow is still you guys' favorites. So I've shuffled the deck, hence why it looks a little bit disheveled. I have my little trusty elephant that I got from Femke, and then I have my D20 dice. So without further ado, let's just do roll number one. Roll number one is 5. We're starting off the year strong with one of your favorites. So let's see. An adult book. I have quite a few of those, I think. So yeah, that's a good one. So okay, book one. Okay, we're starting off the year very strong with yellow. So that means it has to be a book that I either acquired because of you guys or is a favorite of one of you guys. And for me, I actually have a book that's been on my TBR way too long, and I personally need to read this book if I want to continue my friendship with Sasha. I think Sasha's gonna kill me if I don't read this book sooner rather than later. So I'm gonna put on my TBR The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I don't know that much about this book, but I know that it is along the line of a polar fantasy. It is about, I think, a girl in the woods of Russia. There's still a note in here. I actually got this from Sasha, I think. I did. Quite a while ago. And yeah, I think it's in the Russian wilderness, at the edge of the Russian wilderness. And other than that, I just want to get surprised by this. So I'm not gonna read too much into it. I'm just gonna go into it. And I'm quite excited. So yeah, that is book number 1. That said, I don't think I specified, but it's gonna be 5 rolls. And what I am saying to myself is that if I want to switch out one book for another, I can do that as long as it fits into the prompt around the month. I am going to try to stick to my TBRs this year, but I want to more so stick to what the card says than stick to the book I choose at the beginning of the month or around the beginning of the month, because I am a mood reader and I tend to switch up what I want to read during the month. So that's why I'm giving myself sort of the opening to change a book if I want to. That said, let's move on to roll number 2. Moving on to roll number 2. That is 15. Can we focus? There we go. I think you can see it. 15. Blue. So that means that I can actually choose a digital book if I want to. A long time TBR. Okay, I have quite a few physical books that are long time TBR books, so I think I'm gonna go for that, but we'll see. So roll number 2 is a blue, meaning that I can choose a different formatting if I want. I am gonna go for physical book though for a long time TBR. This is upside down, but it is long time TBR. And I actually have a book that I haven't owned that long, but I put on my TBR around the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. I looked it up because I actually went from down sort of the TBR on Goodreads, and then yeah, I filtered it. And that is Walk on Earth, a Stranger by Ray Carson. I think this was also a gift. I think I got this from Femke. And yeah, the only thing I know is that the main protagonist in this book is able to sense gold. It's around the gold rush, I think. When there's gold to be had, you can't trust anyone, not a single soul. So it's an urban fantasy, so I'm gonna see how this sits with me. I usually don't like urban fantasy, hence why I probably haven't picked it up yet, but I'm forcing myself to. I think this also has an audio, so that will probably digest a bit better for me. But yeah, that is book number 2. Moving on to roll number 3. Let's actually hope we don't surpass the 63 this time, because I really can use that in February, but we'll see. 12, that's not going well. Blue. Another one that I can choose digital. A previous DNF. Gosh, I have quite a few of those, so yeah, we'll think about that. Roll number 3 is another blue, meaning that the board is actually nice to me and giving me a reason to not read my physical TBR. However, I am going to do that with previous DNF because there has been a book in my TBR cart for quite a long time that I have read quite a large chunk of actually, and I just haven't picked up, and I think it is high time that I finish it, and that is Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko. And this is about a woman who, I think she enters, oh, it's so long ago. Yeah, I think she at one point forges a connection with the prince, and I think if you forge that connection you can, I don't know, like there's a group of connections, I think. It's been a while. I'm 180 pages in. I think once I actually pick it up again, I will get into it quite easily again. I think I read it last year or started reading it last year. I personally just really want to get over with this book, kind of, and just get started with it because it's been so long. So yeah, this is a previous DNF because it's been a while since I opened it up, and I'm gonna continue it. Roll number 4. 16. Can barely see it, by the way. I'm sorry. I should show you guys. I'm a little bit rusty with this, I figured. Green. Physical TBR book. Weapon on the cover. I hope I'll probably have one of those. Alright, so that's book number 4. Okay, so roll number 4 was a green, and that is a weapon on the cover. Green means that I have to choose from my physical TBR, and at first I thought, do I actually have something with a weapon? I have multiple things with weapons, and I chose a book that I actually got gifted recently, and I'm so excited to read, and that's the Inheritance Games. There's a tiny little dagger right there. So there is a weapon on the cover, and I'm I'm just really excited for this. I own the entire trilogy, and I've heard great things. I know that Femke really enjoyed it, and there's a weapon on here. So that really served my purpose. I am quite excited to dive into this, so hopefully I can do that in February. We're on 48, so let's hope we can do this well. Final roll. 6. That is 5 books for me this month. That's good. Green. A blue cover. Okay, I think I'll probably have one of those. So that's good. That's the final roll. So the final roll was a green, and that was a green blue cover. Make it make sense. But for this one, I am cheating a tiny bit, but not completely, because I'm going for blue on most of the book. And for this one, I'm going to be choosing The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. I mean, it is predominantly blue, and like the birds are blue, the castle's blue, the person on the front is blue. So yeah, I think the back, I mean, it's dark blue, but also blue, so this counts in my book. It counts, right? And I know nothing about this, but I have both of these books, and I'm quite excited to read them, so this is going to be my final book for the month. That said, I am lying a tiny little bit, because something Femke and I are starting up again is challenging each other books. I did task Femke with challenging me a book that I have on my physical shelf. There's a lot to choose from, so it wasn't that difficult for Femke to choose, but she actually asked me, like, hey, have you already read this book that I gifted you? She didn't say the last part, but I felt the last part. And so Femke has challenged me to read Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. It's been sitting on my shelves. It's such an interesting book as well, because it has a weird formatting, or weird, it's like formatted, which is really cool. And it is huge, but I think I can get through this hopefully quickly. In any case, that is the final book, and this is the book that Femke has challenged me to read for February. Let me bundle up the books and show you my TBR for February. Okay, so the stack I have here, it's quite heavy, but let me at least try to hold them up. I have Illuminae, Bear and the Nightingale, The Merciful Crow, The Inheritance Games, Walk on Earth, The Stranger, and Raybearer. As you can see, I'm getting into fantasy a lot more. Actually, I've read like a couple of books in January, and quite a few big ones as well, so I'm not unhappy, but really getting back into the fantasy genre, and so this is my TBR for February. That said, I am glad to be filming again. I am gonna do a book haul for my birthday and Christmas as well. I didn't get gifted as many books on my birthday as I did in certain other years, mostly because I asked for gift cards because I have no more room for books on my shelves, and so yeah, I decided not to ask for books, which is weird for me, but good. I actually got gifted a game from Femke this year. I got gifted The Witcher, which is amazing. That sounded weird. But yeah, I will do a book haul soon. That said, I hope you have enjoyed being back in Game of the Books. Let me know if any of the books on my TBR are ones that you have already read. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and press that little bell icon so you get post notifications every single time that we post. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!